Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, I am going to explain tasks and functions in Verilog HDL. Why these tasks and functions are required in Verilog HDL? What happens? A designer is frequently required to implement the same functionality at many places in the design. Some functions or some tasks need to be required to implement the same functionality at many places. In such cases, we require tasks and functions to call. The commonly used part should be repeatedly used. That will be called as routines. That routines must be invoked from a task or function instead of repeating the code. Instead of repeating the code again and again, the same code again and again, we can call the task or function to do that particular function or event. That is called invoked instead of repeating the code. And most programming languages provide procedures and subroutines to do that particular thing. And in Verilog, we are going to use tasks and functions. And tasks and functions allow the designer to abstract Verilog code that used in many places in the design. We can repeatedly use that particular tasks or particular function at many places in the design. And tasks have inputs, outputs and in-out arguments, but functions have only input arguments within that. And the values can be passed into the function or into the task, and we can take the output from the task and also from the function. Remember, tasks have input, output and in-out arguments, but functions have only input arguments. And in Fortran, if we compare with the Fortran, tasks are similar to subroutines and functions are similar to function. And let us discuss tasks in this lecture. Tasks are declared with the keyword task and end task. Task will be started with a keyword task and the name of the task and ended with end tasks. And task must be used if any one of the following condition is true for the procedure. If there are delay or timing or event control constructs in the procedure, means in the behavioral description we have discussed delay based or timing based or event control based constructs. If they are true in the procedure has 0 or more than 1 output arguments. The procedure has no input arguments. Any of these are true, task can be used. And let us see the example. Define a module called operation. This is what our design, the name of the design is operation, that contains task bitwise operator. Here is the task we have called, that is bitwise operator. This is something like instantiating the code itself. Okay, let us start from the beginning. Module operation, module name is operation, and it has some declarations which is hidden here. And then parameter delay is equal to 10, means the constant delay is 10. Register AB and ABR, ABXR. These are all the registers declared and always at the rate ARB begin. And here bitwise operator is the task we are going to call. That is bitwise operator. Within the brackets we have written AB underscore and AB underscore R, AB underscore XR, comma A, comma B. This is what the arguments of this particular task written here, task bitwise operator, output input of this particular task, and then begin. This task is going to perform this operation. What operation it is going to perform? After as delay, means delay is 10, it is going to perform AB underscore and is equal to A and B, AB underscore R is equal to ARB, AB underscore XR is equal to AXRB. These three functions it is going to, these three things it is going to carry out, and it is going to return AB underscore and AB underscore R, AB underscore XR, and inputs are A and B. Okay. Once we call this particular task bitwise underscore operator, within the brackets we need to write the arguments in the same order. First, here we have declared output AB underscore and. That's why here first I have written capital AB underscore and with respect to this particular module, and then R, AB underscore R, and then XR, and then inputs A comma B. That refers to here register AB. This is how a task can be written within the module, and I am going to call this task to perform these three operations for these two variables A and B. Okay, this particular code can be used to perform A and B, ARB, AXRB, which is going to be written by using task bitwise underscore operator, and we are calling the bitwise operator here. And after this task is going to be ended with end task, this module operation is going to be ended here with the end module. This is how we can write a simple task. This task will be having the name, that is bitwise operator. It will be having three output arguments and two input arguments. This is internal to the task, and we are using these internal arguments to write the internals of the task, and depending on the order which we have written output and inputs, we are going to map to the task declaration here. Okay, this is a simple example, and we can define a task definition using ANSI C style also. Okay, here how we have written is the general form task bitwise operator, then we have declared output and input separately. The same thing can be done using ANSI C style also. ANSI C style declaration is that task bitwise operator bitwise underscore OPER is the name. Within the brackets only we are going to return output and or XR output arguments comma input arguments, and then begin. It is same as the previous one. After that amount of delay, A and B, AXRB, ARB. Here also A and B, AXRB, AR. Okay, this is how we can write using ANSI C style also. This is just a task declaration, output and input arguments declaration. We can replace this particular code in place of this. It is same. Here separately we have written output and input arguments, but in ANSI C style within the task definition itself we are going to declare the input and outputs also. And next, one more example of task, that is asymmetric sequence generator. Asymmetric sequence generator is that there is no symmetry in the sequence of values it is going to generate. Let us discuss this example by using task. Here we are using direct operation on register variables. The register what we are going to use in the main module, the same register variables we are going to use within the task. There is no separate input and output arguments which we are going to declare within the task. Directly we are going to use the main design registers. Here register clock is used, and the same register clock we are going to use within the task without defining this as input or output within the task. Okay, here we are going to define a module that contains task asymmetric underscore sequence. Here is the asymmetric underscore sequence, and one more task is there, that is int underscore sequence. Okay, let us start with the module, and the module name is sequence. Under that register clock is there. Initial, we are invoking the task called inti sequence. This is the task. Inti sequence is the task which we have written here separately. What this task is doing, it is just initializing the clock as 0. It is starting the clock with 0. To make this clock is equal to 0, other than simply writing initial clock is equal to 0 here, we are invoking a task that is initializing the sequence. Means the sequence here, it is this stage it is going to invoke this particular task. And then we have always begin asymmetric underscore sequence. This is the one another task we have within the module, invoking asymmetric underscore sequence. Here we have the task asymmetric sequence. What is the sequence we are going to generate here? Since it is asymmetric, within the task we have written after 12 nanoseconds clock is 0, after 15 nanosecond clock is 1, after 3 time units clock is 0, again after 10 time units clock is 1. This is the sequence we are generating, 0 1 0 1 with these asymmetries. Means after 12 5 3 10 time units there is no symmetric change in the clock. There is different time units we have given to change the clock from 0 to 1, then 1 to 0 and 0 to 1. Okay, this is the asymmetric values we have given within the task, and that task is going to be called within the always block, so that this is continuously executing. This task is going to be continuously executing, but we need to start assigning the initializing the clock initially before using this always. That's why here we have initial sequence that will be invoking this particular task. Here we have two tasks. First task is to initialize the clock to 0, that is in this line, and in the next line we have asymmetric sequence, this particular task. Okay, this is a simple example for using a task by using the direct operation on register variables. Means the register variable what we have declared within our main module, the same register value we are using within the task. Okay, then we have automatic task, that will also be called as re-entrant task, where these automatic tasks are going to be helpful. Generally tasks are in static nature. All declared items are statically allocated and they are shared across the users of the task executing concurrently. Therefore, if a task is called concurrently from two places, simultaneously if the task is called from two places within the code, within the module we have, we are going to invoke a task. Suppose the same task is going to be invoked twice concurrently. What happens? These tasks will operate at the same task variables, and highly the results of such operation will be an incorrect. Why? Because we are going to call the two we are going to call the same tasks from two places, so that the input arguments may change in that particular time, so that the result will be, in such operation result will be incorrect. To avoid such problem, automatic is the keyword we are going to use here while writing the task, and that such task will be called as re-entrant task, and also it is called as automatic task. And all items declared inside the automatic tasks are allowed dynamically for each invocation. Means each task calls operates in an independent space. Means the same automatic task will be called from two places. Now in the two places, those tasks are going to operate with independent space. Means the task call operate on independent copies of the task variables. It is operated as separate tasks with the same task. This results in correct operation. It is recommended that automatic tasks can be used or to be used if there is a chance that task might be called concurrently. Means those two tasks which we are going to call at the two places, the same task, are going to operate concurrently. Then only we need to name it as an automatic task. Okay, let us take the example of automatic task. Here you can observe module top, register XR and CD XR, EF XR, and then register CD EF. Here I have declared task automatic bitwise XR. The name of the task is bitwise XOR, and we have declared that as automatic. And output within the task is AB underscore XOR, and inputs are A comma B. Begin after the delay A and B, A or B, A XOR B are the functions it is going, are the operations it is going to perform. And here within two always blocks we are going to call. Within the two always blocks I am going to call the same task. Always at pause edge of the clock I am going to invoke this particular task, that is bitwise XOR, and always at pause edge of clock 2 I am going to call the same task bitwise underscore XOR. Means these two tasks are going to perform the operation at positive edge of the clock and positive edge of clock 2. Suppose this clock and clock 2 are in the same frequency. The two always blocks will call the bitwise underscore XOR task concurrently at each positive edge of the clock. Since the task is reentrant, means the automatic, these concurrent calls will work correctly. And the condition is that clock 2 runs at twice the frequency of the clock and is synchronous with the clock. Means the positive edge of the clock may appear twice the frequency of the previous block, but at the same time there will be a chance of appearing the positive edge of the clock. And we have declared this bitwise underscore XOR to operate at the same time, and we have declared it as automatic. That's why these concurrent calls will work correctly. Suppose if we have not declared this as automatic, at the positive edge of the clock and at the positive edge of the clock 2, these two are going to occur, and these inputs A and B and AB XOR may result in a incorrect value. That's why at this particular time we need to use the automatic tasks. Thank you.